on the eve of the Torah was given at Sinai, and also when we're on the eve of the most expensive Bible in history being sold, would like to point out something about how this passage of the Torah was supposed to be written. Whenever I want to understand the deeper messages of the specific writing of the Torah, I always look to the Baal HaTurim, because the Baal HaTurim always picks up on these spelling oddities and the way things are written in an unusual manner. So most of us, our eyes glaze over when we see all these names at the beginning of this portion of Bemidbar. Everything is written, and it seems like just numbers. But it says in chapter 1, verse 22, for the tribe of Shimon, Livnei Shimon, told Osam Mishpachosam of Esavosam, their lineage was, according to their numbers, every male from 20 and up, and they counted 59,300. Seems to be nothing unusual about this count. But this is what the Baal HaTurim says. He says, Halamed akuma lamata. The lamed, the letter lamed, is bent downward. According to the tradition, the letter lamed is bent downward. What does that even mean? And why? Lefisha halamed shelo, because his lamed, because at a later date, the most exalted member of the tribe of Shimon was whom? Was Zimri. And remember that Zimri sinned at the entrance to the Ol Moed with Cosby. So because Zimri sinned with Cosby, Zimri ben Salu chata v'nafu mishivto. And so therefore many members of the tribe of Shimon fell. So therefore the lamed is bent downward. What does that mean? We go on with the Baal HaTurim before we try to understand. What does it mean? The lamed is bent downward. The lamed is the tallest of all the letters. Kach chaser mishivto. And so too, his tribe was diminished in the sense that this tribe, each of the tribes produced a judge and or a king, except the tribe of Shimon did not produce either a judge or a king. And this is as a result of the fact that Zimri was fornicating and at the entrance to the tent, and so therefore that was his sin. That the tribe of Shimon neither had a king or a judge, and that's because Zimri sinned. And then the Baal HaTurim also adds Halamed Hashenit the Gulgulotam, the second lamed of the word Gulgulotam in this verse. The second lamed. Hold on one second. We're not even sure which is the first lamed here, but here we're saying the second lamed of the word with Gulgulotam is also written, but unusual, but this time it's written like a saw, Asuyin Kimegera. It's written like a saw, Uzikufa, and upright. What does that mean? Ve'en la kova berosha, and it has no head. There's no, like, kova is like a hat. Normally the lamed has like a little hat on top or a crown. Here it's missing that. Befisha hora nasi beisav l'shimoni znut b'Yisrael begiloi haroshu b'komas kufa. And this is also a reference to the sin of the Nasi, the prince of the tribe of Shimon, that he sinned with lewd behavior, with an uncovered head, and with arrogant pride. So that's why the tribe of Shimon is written with two lameds that are written differently. One of them is written with a akuma lamata, bent below, and the other one is written like a saw. So what do these things even mean? And when I wrote the Torah, I didn't see any of this. Nobody has a tradition. There's some tradition. I would say nobody has a tradition. When I write a Torah, I call up the scribe. He gives me a tikkun, the standard tikkun. In the standard tikkun for the Torahs we write today, we don't have a tradition of making these lamets at all different. So what is going on here? So basically, the commentary, this excellent edition of the Baal HaTurim, notes that none of the extant manuscript Torah scrolls contain a lamed that fits the Baal HaTurim's description. None of the Torah scrolls contain such a lamed. So we don't know to which lamed in this verse the comment is referring to. We don't know what he's talking about. We're left as a mystery. And furthermore, we don't know how to draw that letter. So we don't know what he's referring to or how he's referring to. And so we don't know. Secondly, what is he even saying? That it has to be drawn with a lamed akuma, with a bent lamed. So this is, here there's speculation that usually the usual way that you draw the lamed is you make a chaf with a vav on top of the chaf. A vav is drawn like this, and the chaf is like this. So you put the chaf like this, and this would be the lamed. And then on top of the vav, you would make like two little marks, like crowns. So that's the normal way it's drawn. But some Yemenite scribes traditionally draw the lamed with a slightly bowed head. What does that mean? They traditionally draw the lamed that it was facing downward. And in some handwritten Chumashim, particularly the Gaster manuscript, known as the Tittled Bible, every lamed appears with a bowed head. Wasn't it, Sheldon? Do you remember the name of the Bible that's being sold tomorrow? Do you remember the name of that Bible? I don't remember the name. But the Gaster manuscript, that's presumably that's from Theodore Gaster or Moses Gaster, who owned that Bible. There, every lamed appears in a different way, with the top of the vav facing downward. And so therefore, maybe that's what the Baal HaTurim is saying, that the lamed in Shimon, that it shows this humility by facing downward. And so if you look at the Gaster manuscript, actually, you'll notice that the lamed, the third lamed of the word Golgolotam, it was originally drawn like every other lamed. However, later on, a hand amended that letter by deleting its head. They deleted the head of that letter, which is bizarre. If you look at it, I see an illustration of it. And so they seem to indicate that they were following the Baal HaTurim's reading, but that's not the way our Torah is. So the point I was just trying to make is the Baal HaTurim tells us how even the letters, the way these tribes are written, is a commentary within a commentary within a commentary within a commentary on the Torah. And so the point is that Shimon, which is the first tribe to disappear, is haunted by the mistakes of its leader, and that goes so far as to the way. Oh, so that's the Sassoon Codex. Okay, fine. So, but that's different than this Gaster manuscript, obviously, and so that's the concept here. Okay, if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, we see this beautiful message from the Baal HaTurim, this powerful message about the way the Torah was written.